Hello and welcome to Bay College's online college algebra quiz submission video. This quiz submission is going to be a little bit different than the homework submission. Here you have the opportunity to use the technologies that are available to you. Whatever they may be, you have to decide what's going to be easiest for you. Now the first thing that we're going to look at for submitting the quiz video from the video, the quizzes are embedded within there, and they're also available in the notes. So as you're watching the video, you're completing the notes, you'll come to a section of the video that corresponds to the notes that says, here's your quiz. Now, maybe you print your notes off and you complete them as you watch the video. That is what I would consider a preferred method. You come to your quiz. You can complete the quiz in using pencil or pen or whatever you choose to. And once you've completed that quiz, how do you submit a paper online? Well, that's the method that we're going to look at. We're going to look at several different modes in order to do that. The first one I think is the easiest. If we're doing our notes on paper, and maybe we have a smartphone or a digital camera, what we can do is we can just open up our phones or our cameras, get the camera ready, and simply just take a picture of our quiz. Then I can hook it up to my computer. I have the picture on there. I can then go to Blackboard and put it in the quiz submission digital Dropbox. That's one mode, which I think would probably be the easiest if you're working your notes out on paper. The next submission mode for your quizzes would be to open it up as a PDF. When you're working in Blackboard, all your notes are available as PDF, so you can just open the notes. Within your PDF, I'm using Adobe Reader. If we open it outside of Blackboard, we have these tools on the right-hand side. And if we click on the comment tool, it has the option to use a draw freeform pen. And just using the mouse, you can go ahead and you can start completing your quiz. Now another option, depending on what tools are there, I have what's called a Wacom tablet, and this is the bamboo version. I guess they have a few different versions. It allows you to use a stylus in place of your mouse, which makes it a little easier to maybe write the equations that we have to write. So that's just one example. If you have these tools, use them. If not, your mouse works just as well. Once you've worked it out here, you can save this page just like you would in your homework. Maybe you go to print, and you print it as a PDF. But here's the thing. You only need this one page. You don't need the entire document. So we can click current page, and I can see it says page 2, because that's the current page that I'm on. And I can actually see in the preview, oh, yeah, there's my quiz. I've started it. Well, obviously, I didn't complete it. That's up to you to do that work. But then I can go ahead and print. And it's going to ask me to save the equation, name the equation. I'm going to save it as Jim Helmer 1.4 quiz. And you can see I've already saved it once for convenience sakes. But here we have Jim Helmer 1.4 quiz. I'm going to ask that you put your name, the section number, and the fact that it is your quiz. Now that it's a PDF, I can go to the digital Dropbox in the quiz submission on Blackboard and submit it as a PDF. So you can save it as a JPEG. That's what your phone or camera will take pictures in formats of JPEGs. Or you can do it as a PDF. There are other tools out there as well. And I'm going to show you one of those tools right now. Maybe we're watching the video in YouTube here. And if you have a program such as the snipping tool, which I believe comes with Windows 7 or later versions, we can just click on the snippet tool, and it gives me the opportunity to open up just a piece of the screen. Well, I paused the video during the quiz where I'm introducing the quiz, and I just use the snippet tool to pull it in to here. Now I can make it go widescreen. And within the snippet tool is a pen. So I can use the pen or my stylus, and I can actually begin to complete my quiz. And then at this point, of course, I'm going to cube it and go ahead and solve it. So we can see, and just for convenience sake, you can look and see how nice that looks. If you zoom in, you can see that it's written out right there on the screen, whether you use the mouse or the stylus. So now I can save it as a JPEG using the snippet tool. If I just go to save, it's going to ask me, it's a PNG file. PNG is fine. If you save it as a JPEG or a TIFF file or whatever, that's fine. I prefer JPEG, but you can submit it in just about any fashion. I will be able to open it. If not, I'll contact you and ask you to maybe change its format. But we'll see how it goes. All right, and then you can just save it wherever you need it. And then it's time to submit it, whether you did it as a PDF or a JPEG or some other format, as long as you saved it. And make sure you title the file with your name, what section it is, and the fact that it is a quiz. So now you can go to Blackboard. And well, let's just say we just logged into Blackboard. So you might see something similar to this. I'm going to click on College Algebra. I'm going to go to the quiz submissions. When you go to the quiz submissions, actually, let me zoom in here so you can actually see the computer screen. All right, when you come to the Blackboard course and you've selected College Algebra, we can go to the Quiz Submission tab down here on the assignment. So we click on Quiz Submission. And this is Quiz 1.4. So I can click on here. Do not click on any of these links until you're actually ready to submit your file, whether it be a JPEG or a PDF or whatever format you've chosen to use. All right, our internet's a little slow here, but hopefully it'll connect up. So now that I'm in there, I have to submit a file. If I don't submit a file, it's going to say you've submitted your quiz, and it is what it is. So I can now go to browse my computer, and I got lots of pictures on there. But I'm going to go to where I saved the PDF, Jim Helmer 1.4 quiz. And I'm going to click Open, and now it's in there. Now, if I selected the wrong file, now's the time to check. Maybe I didn't want to submit this PDF. Maybe I wanted to use a JPEG. So I say, OK, not that one. I chose the wrong one, because this is your last opportunity to do that. So maybe I take the picture that I used from my phone here. And now it's in there, and I know that's the picture from my phone. And I can go ahead. Maybe I need to add some clarification comments or something of that nature. Maybe you want to tell me something in here, and then click Submit. My quiz has now been submitted. Now, as the instructor, I would go in, see that you submitted a quiz, and I can download it, make sure that your work is there, that your work justifies the answer. And that's an important concept. Your work must justify your answer. So definitely show your work. It's very important that I see that you have a solid understanding of that content. And once it's submitted, I'll grade it. And I will go to the gradebook, and I will say, this person submitted their quiz. Here's their credit for doing so. That's how you can submit the quiz. You have lots of options. Whatever tools are available, whether you use your smartphone or a digital camera, or you use some of the tools within your computer, whether it be a snippet or just using a PDF, any method is fine. Just make sure you get that quiz done by its due date. I'm Jim Helmer. Thank you for watching.